Hi there, friends. How are you? My nose is all red. It's so cold in here. Oh dear. This is going to be a two-part video. One is habits, and then there's a part reasons why we have the habits we have, why we adopt the worldview we adopt, and what sparked this whole matter is, as you know, last few days I was under the weather. I felt like my life was over. I ran out of ideas. So I've slept for a couple of days and now the ideas are coming back. And as you know, in my previous video, I've been relating behavioral outcomes to the thoughts that generate the behaviors. And this morning, according to the astronomers, we were supposed to get a CME off the sun, and it was supposed to darken the sky for 6 days. And what drives me nuts about the astronomers is that they presume so much. Somehow they missed it that in 2012, we obtained and acquired a new artificial sun that was put in place by the Anunnaki when they arrived back here on Nibiru before Nibiru was pretty much devastated by its own wake. But, you know, the scientists have a dogma and a set of beliefs that they follow. And the doctors have a set of beliefs that they follow. And the lawyers have a set of beliefs that they follow. And they are less based on reasons than they are on traditional precedent and dogma. And I'm trying to cut through that because what we have now is a crisis in behavior. We have people who claim to want to improve our governing ability by destroying law and destroying civil behavior and destroying civil agencies. They want to improve and repair the house by burning it down. We've had an election which has been demonstrated to have been hacked 3 ways. One, by 10 million counterfeit ballots that were intruded into the system. 2, by Dominion software that was designed to flip votes. And 3, by a democratic hierarchy that engaged and paid their poll workers to break the local rules, okay? And as a consequence, the Democrats say, we won, in a completely fraudulent exercise. So they're not looking at the reasons for the outcome. They're just wishing that the outcome is in their favor, which is the kind of thinking that produces atomic bombs, polluted waterways and groundwaters, fluoride in the drinking water, diseases with their vaccines to reduce and limit the population and overturn human genetics. I mean, we have so many enterprises and behaviors that are devoted to disrupting, creating problems, and then solutions that the people have to pay for to ameliorate the effects of the problems that they created. I mean, it's just nuts, okay? So, first of all, I'm going to talk about where we got our reasons for behavior. It's a 3-minute presentation on where we get our belief systems, our cosmologies. Then, based on the best of the best that we have, then I'll talk about what are the behaviors that create the good outcomes in cooperation. Okay, what are the behaviors that create good outcomes in civil lifestyle? Okay, let's just get that far. And that's what this video is going to try to do today. And let's see where it goes. Thanks for coming by. Where does authority originate, and how does it act out? Eternity is a unitary hologram. Thought alone directs everything there. But physical biology is directed by energies positive and negative, so that opposites attract. There's the internal state of thought and the external state of moving energy and deriving outcomes from it. Now, our original source is master over both the subjective thoughts and the directed energy. And that's why we can say that God is a hyperdimensional. Now, we exist in a matrix of frequency or surrounding substance of something else that in which we originate and are contained. And that something else is the vibrations, the tones of matter itself, of atomic matter, in which our matter participates and some doesn't participate. Now, music is an internal manifestation of the vibration of sound. And there are many frequencies in which humans do not participate or precipitate, and these also exist according to laws of vibration, causes, and effects. Around us, we are surrounded by frequencies in which we do not precipitate or participate, but there are other life forms, certainly, that we can communicate with by thoughts. Humanity occupies a matrix of 10 time dimensions in which reality is precipitated by vibrational frequencies and can be perceived as real and memorable. Okay. We'll notice later that consciousness broadens with each higher frequency that the being or soul can perceive because of inner calmness. And the heart is the limit and boundary that our experience is limited by, because the soul or the spirit can only contain certain experiences. Astronomy is a scheduled history that seems to follow the same pattern each precession of the equinoxes, each universe year, so that what manifests is what goes around comes around, the universal law of karma. Now, there have been 4 authority hierarchies appointed to this world. 1 was dragons, 2 was the Anunnaki conquerors, 3 was the planetary sovereign Yahweh and his law, and now the 4th, after December 12th, 2012, is the authority of a new galaxy. Okay, we'll talk about how authority affects behavior in the next segment, because authority always intends to affect behavior. In our world, there are indigenous bloodlines, imported bloodlines, dynasty bloodlines, ET bloodlines, and here individual souls are cherry-picked for the purpose of moving along and teaching generation after generation of human souls that incarnate here. We have the culture and the law from the dynasty of Abraham that has dominated us over the past dispensation. But the day comes when the old lessons are superseded and corrected and brought to a new level of consciousness, and that is to do no harm. Every human cannot and does not respond to every thought that travels in the ether. And so, kill our own children, import hostile immigrants, and disarm ourselves have become the methods and means of the left to correct the sins of the system, which is not helping very much. Okay. In this case, the systems designed to reign over and rule all the people have been failed by definition because these systems ignore more good than they are schooled or allow themselves to recognize and identify. We have the Democratic War on America based on the Frankfurt School, which is basically burn down the house and take down everything. We have the Zionist school and the Islamist school, which says we're better than everybody else and we ought to be ruling over everybody else. We have the socialist school, the Marxist school, which says turn it all upside down and things will get better. Okay, now this is the end of part one, the cosmology part, for those who are philosophical minded, who know basically this is as far as you want to go, all right? Part two will discuss how authority affects behavioral outcomes, all right? See you in a little bit.